The frogs immediately froze up. The Duchess, she has run out of food. Oh, it's the end of the world now. Y'all are in trouble. A voice as loud as the bell before it bellowed. Y'all are dinner. Y'all ain't got food. She gonna make you food. What are you frogs doing? There's food here. Hurry up and bring it out. Wearily, the frogs summoned their last bit of strength, grabbed the food, and went out. But after grabbing the food and walking a few steps, some frogs began to fall over, possibly from being so exhausted. Gotta save the frogs, man. It's like a scene from hell. We can't just leave them like this, can we? I looked up beside me at the Cheshire Cat's face. It just got real. He just looked back at me and smiled. I let out a small sigh. It seems like the Duke knows something, so I guess we should help him stop his wife. As you wish, our Alice. You always say that. He really does. I shrugged my shoulders and remarked, Andre, you've got to stay strong, as I watch a frog receive help from his co-workers. Let's try to hurry this up. Yes, let's get her done. We returned to the hall and woke up the Duke, who had all but given up on life, to explain the situation to him. See, he don't even want to be with the fat cow. The Duke, whose hair was stark white, just like Mozart's, agreed to help us, but still kept his face down on the table. Oh, Lord. Of course, if you can stop my darling wife, I will gladly inform you as to the whereabouts of the White Rabbit. Well, I wouldn't mind if you just told us now. The Duke shook his head tiredly. Alice, the world operates by quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's how royal society works too. And furthermore, he, the Duke let out a creepy chuckle. It's pretty unnerving to be laughed at by such a hollow, haggard face. You tell him. Either way, it's your destiny to end my darling's dinner. Proclaimed the Duke, as if he were a prophet, and he chuckled once more. Creep, I'm for real. All right then, what should we do? I stood on the table, arms crossed. I glanced at the Duchess. She really has a ferocious appetite. Serve something that tastes terrible. That would be funny as fuck. Use force to stop her. Try to threaten her. Stop bringing out food. No, because then she'll eat the frogs. Let's serve her something terrible. See what happens. Serve her something terrible. I got it. What if we bring out something that tastes terrible? Tastes terrible. At that moment, that The sound of Duchess crouching on plates echoed through the restaurant. What was that about something that tastes terrible? Oh, nothing. Whether a dish tasted good or terrible no longer mattered anymore. Really, we should think about how to effectively use her stomach for the greater good. What if we made her eat industrial waste? That's perfect. You know, I might be on to something here. Might be. Use force to stop her. Try to threaten her. Stop bringing out food. Starve the bitch. Why don't we have the frog stop bringing out food? She'll have to give up if there isn't any food to eat. Or she'll eat the staff. The Duke tilted his head cautiously. I don't think you should do that. Why? I know it's a simple plan, but it might actually work. Well, you could try it, but several frogs will likely die. Huh? The last and only time they stopped bringing out food, she ate one of the frogs that came to the table. Okay then, see? I'm right. 8. That's why the frogs are so desperate to keep bringing food. It all makes sense now. This plan is no good. If she eats all the frogs, she'll definitely eat me next. But a bride who eats live frogs because there's no more food has serious problems. And you're with her. So that don't say much for you. And a husband who can love someone like that has issues too. Man, I am good. You may be the most understanding husband in the world. I'm beginning to think this is impossible. Please don't say that. The Duke squeezed me desperately in his hands. Ouch. The Duke looked at me with a puzzled expression. Come to think of it, you're rather small, aren't you, Alice? I feel like you were a little bigger when we first met ages ago. I'm not that old. I didn't choose to be small. Some stuff happened and I ended up becoming small, or was I forced to become small? Wait, huh? I looked at the Duke carefully. Ages ago, do you mean to say we've met before? Of course. I thought about it briefly, then shook my head. Can't remember, maybe it was someone else. No, it was you, Alice. Maybe it was a different Alice, then. You're the only Alice. Like I said, I'm not Alice. But the Duke wasn't listening to me. Oh, it would be wonderful if my darling came to this small, too. Oh, no. Now there's an idea. Shrink the bitch. Then you can stop on her like a cockroach and kill her. What? The Duke loosened his grip, and I immediately opened his hands and freed myself. Why don't you make her small, then you can carry her like the Cheshire Cat carries me, and she won't be able to eat anymore. Yes! That's
a brilliant idea.
but won't she be angry? Who gives a shit? She'll be the size of a frickin' mouse. Asked the Duke fearfully. It's fine, shrinking don't hurt, and it's okay if she gets mad, especially if you consider how much she's already eaten. The froggy's life and your life depend on it, dude. But I don't want her to hate me. She's more likely to eat you than hate you. You really love your wife, don't you? Boy, I bet sex is a challenge in that bedroom. I sighed, mostly in admiration. Well, they were technically newlyweds. In that regard, it was charming, but that didn't mean I could just sit here and smile about it. You'll be cuckold someday with that attitude. I almost said something else, cuckold. What? Well, everyone knows that a man who's too sweet is too boring. Not exactly true. I'm not entirely sure that that's true, though. Haha. Personally, I think nice guys are great. Yes. But if I'm speaking generally, a man who's too sweet is too boring, isn't it? It's awesome. The Duke seemed to be in shock now that, no, that can't be, but maybe but then he started muttering to himself. I decided to leave the Duke, who seemed lost in his own little world, and turned to face the Cheshire Cat. The question is, where can we get more of that bread arm? The Cheshire Cat's far-away face came close to my own. It seems he bent down to talk to me. Bread is at the bakery. You think so? Would a bakery really make such a creepy bread? I don't know, that would be one messed up bakery. If you're looking for a bakery, the Duke cut in having to come back to us. You can find one in the basement. He just said there was a bakery in the basement. And he's trying to lure us down here so he can kill us. I don't know about this bakery. The basement has become a shopping mall of sorts, so it's not out of the ordinary for hotels to have boutiques or small gift shops, but could there really be a bakery? Not in the fucking basement. I believe I saw strawberry jam bread there too. You mean that white arm bread? I looked at the Cheshire Cat and he nodded softly. Then you should go buy some yourself and have her eat it. He really didn't need to send us on an errand. With a huff, the Duke sighed unnaturally. Alice, my stomach is just so sensitive. I know you told me if I go to a place like that, I'll die. Huh? A place like what? What's that supposed to mean? It's just a simple bakery, right? My eyes widened, but the Duke just waved his hands at me. Oh, but if you go, Alice, it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. I'm sure she won't eat you in the first 10 minutes. Fine then. I don't expect the surprisingly resilient Duke to die anytime soon if I leave him, but I am worried about these frogs who have been worked to death. I'm right on point tonight. Well, Cheshire Cat, let's try visiting this bakery. At that, the Cheshire Cat grinned. As you wish, our Alice. Going to the bakery.